It's a great question. Most of the people I work with aren't struggling in, the obvious ways. They're successful, capable, and functioning very well in this world, let's just say. But yet there's a common thread, right? Underneath of all of that, there's this quiet sense that something is off. Not broken. They're just constantly pulled outward, pulled by noise, pulled by stimulation, pulled by habits that were never consciously chosen, the program, right? And I think we live in a world that trains the nervous system to stay busy, reactive, and extremely focused, especially in the world that I was in, where I meet a lot of these folks, phones, content, endless input, endless commentary. And, over time, many people just lose touch, right, with the difference between awareness and autopilot, not because they're incapable, because there's simply no space left to notice. And the solution to me, it isn't more information, not more intellectual information, not another technique for escaping your life as often as many as these folks want to, right? I'm going to go stay in a cave, right? I understand the pull, right? But we're here to experience this reality. And so what's missing is space. And I think what you find is when unnecessary input drops away, awareness doesn't need to be trained. It becomes obvious. And that's the goal. And that's why, I use what I call the awareness reset. And it's what I use to help me. It's about reducing noise and interrupting this unconscious momentum and really giving space for clarity to return without leaving your life, your work, or your responsibilities. This isn't a retreat. It's not a detox. And it's not necessarily about becoming calmer or more spiritual, right? It's about noticing what's been running unnoticed. And, the awareness reset, works through subtraction, not addition. Less digital input, simpler routines, intentional silence, short integrated awareness practices kind of woven into your day life. Nothing extreme, nothing performative, just enough constraint to reveal how attention, habit, and identity actually operate, especially when they're no longer constantly fed, right? And, it's designed for people that are capable, thoughtful, and ready to engage honestly with themselves, right? People who have, or I'd say people who value depth over novelty, clarity over hype, and experience over theory. Everything that I try to share or teach is experiential, right? Not dogma, not, hey, here's more intellectual information for you. It's experiential. So I always tell them, look, if you're looking for a quick fix to a peak experience, this isn't it. But if you're looking for grounded recalibration, which is a term I really like, right, this may be exactly what you've been missing. And it seems to work out very well for folks. So it's a great question.